Hello, another day, another game design. So this here is the tabletop simulator mode of my latest game called Ace Fighter Battle for Britain. It is one of those very simple travel games that you can take with you when you going somewhere and just play it because it has very limited number of components. All that you need for this game is this little map here, which you can print on the standard A4 paper, and deck of cards of 54 cards. So standard deck of cards. So in this video I'm just gonna show you the components and talk about a bit of the game. So from the name you can already presume that it is like a simple war game set in the World War II for Battle for Britain. You're gonna control some small groups of fighters fighting the Luftwaffe and trying to keep the English island safe. So let me show you what we have here. So the game is basically working together with this little deck here, because whatever happens with the deck during the game, you're gonna write on this map here. And your objective of the game is to play all 20 missions. They are listed here from 1 to 20. And if you manage to score enough points at the end of the game, you can win. Now, scoring points is quite simple, just destroying enemy bombers or fighters, while during the game any bombers that goes through your screen of trying to hold them off will destroy these cities, airports and radar stations. So as you can see, map is split into 4 fighter command groups sectors, and each sector has number of cities, airports and radar stations, which they have like little placeholders when you're gonna write the damage. So for instance, city of Bristol can take up to 3 damage, while city of London can go up to 5. Radar stations are 1 and these airports are 2. Besides this, we have a national morale for the Britain, and every time it goes, it is damaged, you're gonna write a little, like you're gonna scrabble something here, and if it ever goes down here to the white flag, you lose the game if your morale goes all the way down. Also, this represents your air force, and every time some airplanes from your flight group are destroyed, you're gonna cross them out, and if you cross all of them out again, you lose the game. The other way you can also lose the game if in 3 or more sectors all the cities are destroyed. So that's bad, because as the game progress, first you're gonna write damage here, but if the same city get hits again, you're gonna write damage here on the national morale track. A similar thing with these airports. Every time they are completely destroyed, any other damage to the same airport will be going to to your air force. And radar stations actually are gonna help you to have a first strike during the missions, otherwise the enemy is gonna be having first strikes. So if all the radar stations in one sector are destroyed, and if there is a mission in that sector, well, the enemy is gonna fire first, basically. All right, so let's talk about these other components. So here we have your wing leader, and let me just do something quickly here. I noticed, okay, this doesn't need to be sideways. Okay, oops, it's still sideways. Okay. All right, so we have a wing leader with a submarine Spitfire and your wingman, and these cards are double-sided, so on the other side there's a damage wing leader and the damage wingman. We also have a deck of other 52 cards which represents the Luftwaffe forces. There are 5 types of bombers, fighters, or fighter bombers, and this is one of those games that everything is consistent in one deck. Basically, you play cards and there are multiple things on them that are used during the game. So, for instance, here in this example, this is like enemy Messerschmitt Bf 110. The cards have these suits going from Jack, Queens, Kings, Aces. There are also some wilds and could be without the suit. There are 2 types, white and a black, and you'll see why. For instance, here's a black king. This is a white ace. On this ribbon here, so, well, let's do this, is basically target. When you're looking for the target, it's the sector and what is the place. In this case, it is the city of Cardiff. So that's what you have on that little ribbon there. And all airplanes have these stats. When you're attacking airplanes, you're looking for these icons here, which represents your sight on the target. There are 3 types: clear target, where you can see like just a circle and airplane sight; obscure target, either by the clouds or something else, where there is a you can see it's a little like cross-hatched; and too far target, when it's filled in, the part of the icon is filled in. And these stats affects how many cards you draw during the attack and how many cards enemy draw to cancel that attack, because they have like a save roll. This is the strength of the aircraft. So this Bf 110 has a 4 strength, meaning if you deal 4 or more damage, it's going to be destroyed. If you deal less, you have to deal some damage to damage the airplane, and when you damage the airplane, they actually getting tapped. You'll see how that works when you do a playthrough video. And this means it is a fighter and a bomber, meaning that it can attack. These little bullets here represents how many cards you draw for the attack when they're attacking you, and how many bombs gonna drop. So basically that's the damage on these cities and airports, these bombs here. And this here is like a dice roll, basically, type of thing that you use on these games. This is the number of hits. In these games you have 2 hits, which are used on the enemies and on your planes when they attack you. And also the part with the event. We have 2 types of event: good events and bad events. And here's another example. There is also this icon here, which is used when you're trying to fix up your plane. Alright. And I made here a little like playing field. You don't need, for this game, you don't need like any, I don't know, boards or anything. You just needed some space on the table. You need this little map, this deck, and your pencil. And after you play all 20 missions, you calculate your points, you deduce any more national morale, destroyed air force, destroyed cities, aircraft, and how it's called, radar stations. And if you're in a positive, you successfully defended England. If you're in a negative, well, again, you lose the game. So you need to watch out for that. So this is not one of those easy games. There's a lot of things actually to think about here. You'll see during the playthrough there is a part when you have to decide lots of stuff, and because you will have some cards in your hand to play. So yeah, this is just a simple showcase, and in the next video we're gonna do a playthrough. So thanks for watching, and see you in the playthrough. Goodbye.